and welcome to another episode of Conversation with a Chef. I'm Jo Rittey and I love sharing with you the conversations I get to have with talented and passionate chefs. It's a backstory, if you will, to the food they're putting up. I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the lands and airwaves where this conversation takes place. Land which was never ceded, land where communities came together to eat seasonally, locally and without exhausting resources. I pay my respects to their elders past, present and rising. Today I'm talking to executive chef Christian Graebner at Dolly in Meridien. Of course, Art Deco is always in style, but it feels as though it's having a particular moment amongst some of Melbourne's newest venues, along with sweeping staircases. I've swept up at least 3 staircases in the last month alone, and I love a good sweeping staircase. I think it's exactly for that Art Deco glamour reason. Dolly at Meridien has a sweeping spiral staircase that transports you from the lobby downstairs, well, on the ground floor, into another world, downstairs. A world of glitz and glamour, recalling the glory days of the Palace Theatre, built in 1912 and home to live theatre, cinema, live music and a nightclub until 2020. Meridien now stands in its place, and it's beautiful, with its 235 rooms, intermission cafe, Dolly, an 18-metre heated pool on the 5th floor with views of the city, and its own poolside bar. Dolly is named for the Dolly zoom camera technique pioneered in Hitchcock's 1958 film Vertigo, and the restaurant is creating its own sense of tracking shot, with a nod to the past through the lens of modern creativity. I was lucky enough to be invited to Dolly to try the signature menu of oysters, cured salmon roulade, beef Wellington with chestnut potato mousseline, and bombe Alaska. I loved it all, but I particularly enjoyed my opening cocktail, Vanity, made with gin, rinquinquin à la pêche, orange bitters, Campari and Violette, and the theatre of the bombe Alaska, flambéed at the table. Christian Graebner is the man behind the menu, and I couldn't wait to meet him. Christian himself mightn't be happy with that description because he's actually all about his team, and he spoke so highly of the work they do together, noting that he's continually impressed by what his sous chef Max achieves. Originally from Germany, Christian loves food and cooking, a passion he discovered at 14 years old, and which led him to kitchens and hotels around Europe and Australia. He describes his dishes with genuine delight, and the dining room as an escape to the glamour and glitz of the good old days. From the early days of his cooking journey, what Christian loved the most was the way food brought friends and family together to enjoy each other's company. He's never looked back. Oh, hello. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Sorry, my hands are a bit cold.
That's good. Mine are warm. Beautiful.
So this is so beautiful in here, and we had such a delicious dinner on Friday, so thank you for that. And we had a lot of your signature dishes as well, so I'm really interested to hear, I want to hear everything, but so I guess the theme is glory years and glamour and Art Deco and those things. And is that what you based your menu around?
Correct. So we're trying to bring back the glitz and glamour of the good old days.
Yeah.
So the idea is in a setting as such as Dolly is, having a little bit of an escape room to go for, to go back into a time where it was a little bit more populous. We spent a little bit more money. We enjoyed ourselves. We went out and went big, and that's kind of the connection we wanted to bring back. Enjoying classic old dishes or classic dishes, more elevated service. But yeah, enjoy it with in a setting where you can let go, enjoy yourself for multiple hours, and even if you pair it up and would like to go for a theatre, obviously, it's a perfect setting.
Yeah.
Dress up.
So where do you start when you're planning a menu?
I think, first of all, it depends on the setting of actually the restaurant itself. So when I start planning a menu, I look at the space. So for me, it's the architectural service sequence, the intimacy. So seeing how the tables are organized, what sizes, what groups could we obviously accommodate. I'll be looking as well at the clientele we try to attract. So, and I think based on that we'll make them, or I at least started making the decision what could a menu look like that could custom or like cater for the space. So the space is important. If this would be now a restaurant which would be full of sunlight and would not have those features, the menu would look completely different.
Yes.
Yeah. So it is more focused on dinner operation in here. Clearly, the lunch trade most likely will pass. It's not what this restaurant is targeting. So therefore, we can be a little bit bolder, a little bit stronger in our flavor profiles and go a bit heavier. Yeah.
Could you give me some examples of that? What is bolder and heavy? Because the beef Wellington was certainly very flavoursome and impressive. What other dishes are you creating that are bold?
So we have beautiful dishes as well. A lamb crepinette. So it's basically a pork crepinette filled with lamb mince, with pistachio, with garlic, with mustard seeds and so on, and then wrapped around a lamb loin. So ultimately, again, it's more like a sausage casing, the old way of serving sausages. So again, not saying it's sausage and mash, but obviously it goes down the track of obviously, bringing again humble, bold flavor pairings that can match very well with a strong wine setting. Yeah, and apart from that, obviously we have chestnut potato mousseline on the menu as a side dish, going on the bombalaska for dessert. So there's a couple of dishes that really will round the entire night up.
And the bombalaska is an entertaining dessert as well, because everything happens at the table with the flambe and so on. It's beautiful. I don't think I've ever actually had bombalaska before, to be honest. It's one of those things. It's an iconic dessert, but then having it brought to the table and then lit and so on, that was beautiful. Yeah. And in terms of wine, because wine I think is important here as well at Dolly, do you have a say in the wine matching, or does some of the...
I was allowed to have a couple on my wish list, yes. I was allowed to buy a couple of thoughts through choices, but ultimately Patrick Walsh was in charge of obviously curating the entire list. So I picked a couple of European wines, which I wanted to see along the lines, just based from the area where I'm from as well, and obviously because I created a menu already in advance, and then we had started pairing them obviously with the wines. I gave my recommendation to the dishes, so we actually get up with better pairings.
And there is that cinematic theme, I guess, as well, with the name of the restaurant and where it is in the Old Palace Theatre. Is that something you took into consideration when you were preparing food, or was it?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think when we discovered or when we kind of started unraveling the layers of like entertainment which this venue stands for, still till today people are coming through the door and the first thing is like, oh, it's the old Metro, that's this old nightclub where I spent my youth in. And it is a very, very common answer from so many, or common comment from so many patrons we have here. So they really like to come back to sit in the space again. And then from the theatrical aspects, obviously the bombalaska was clearly just for that purpose we kind of came up with. We know it's going to be a dimmed environment, it's going to be dark. Fire is always theatrical, a beautiful eye catcher as well. So that dish just being placed on the menu, obviously to cater for that needs.
Yeah. And how long before opening in a place like this, how long are you here? When do you arrive?
I think it's every place is different. Obviously, I started officially at the end of November.
Wow.
And the official launch date of the hotel was then on the 16th of March. But between actually getting the kitchen and getting into the restaurant open, we only had 2 weeks.
Okay.
So it was a very, very tight turnaround for us to even get ready, prepare, train the team, and be ready for launch. So challenging time, but a rewarding time, yes.
And how many staff have you got in your team?
The overall team size is 12 chefs.
Yeah.
But they are spanning over a 7-day roster.
Yeah.
From breakfast to dinner.
So you're overseeing room service.
So we have room service. We have a cafe upstairs.
Okay.
The restaurant, breakfast operation, and banquet catering, as well as then we have on level 5 pool deck.
Yeah. so beautiful up there. Our waiter took us up just to show us on Friday, and it was quite magical too at night with all the lights of the city around the blue glowing pool. It's really beautiful. It's such a beautiful place. Yeah. So I'm interested to hear a little bit more about you and where it all began for you. So obviously you're from Germany. What part of Germany are you from?
From northern part of Bavaria, it's close to the city of Nuremberg.
Yeah.
I think it's most relatable for most people. They say I'm from countryside, so small town, 5,000 people. But quickly realized that a small town is too small for me.
Yes.
Families well traveled. I always traveled when I was younger. I was very fortunate to travel Europe extensively when I was a kid. And passion for hospitality started very early on when I was allowed to cook for my family, just at home. We cooked for each other. My mom was a great cook. So it was always this humble moment when family came together and we enjoyed each other's time. And I think that caught me quite early that this is a very great moment in life when people are enjoying each other's company and have a laugh and share time with each other. And I think from there it kind of grew on me directly early on and started directly with my apprenticeship at the age of 17. And from there I never looked back. So it's now been 10 or 18 years in the industry.
Right. And where did you study? You studied in obviously a larger city than...
Yes, correct. Yeah, so I travelled to the city of Bamberg and I did my apprenticeship in a 4.5-star superior hotel operation as well, which was catering between we had multiple restaurants, multiple function rooms, but again, same in our 7 days a week operation. But the operation went from 50 people a la carte to 1,500 people banquets. Wow. Banquet operations, plated events, buffets, and so on. So it was it was a broad band of experience that came together in this little short moment of time. So it was just not focusing on one single cuisine type. It was directly like the entire spectrum of catering. And from there I ventured on. I actually had a stint in the army as well.
I saw that, yeah.
A couple of months in the army of compulsory service. Moved to Switzerland, the season in Switzerland in fine dining. Returned to Germany, then started joining the Marriott world, so back in the day Starwood world, Starwood hotels, and the Starwood hotels always loved to travel, and came across to Australia in 2010, and then from there I worked from Sheraton on the Park in Sydney, the Westin, or now at Fullerton, Sydney, back to Sheraton on the Park, and from the Sheraton to the Sheraton on the Gold Coast, and then from the Sheraton Gold Coast I came down to Melbourne. I started off at Hilton, was my first executive chef role at Hilton South Wharf, and then it got transferred to the Pan Pacific to Marvel Stadium, and then from Marvel Stadium to Meridien.
And what is it about hotels that's so appealing rather than a standalone restaurant?
Hotels are appealing because it's a diverse range of catering. Again, it's not singling out one service period, and you're excellent in one service period, you need to be excellent 24 hours a day. 7 days a week. The challenge is just a lot more immense, and I enjoy challenges. I think. So, yes.
And so, in the kitchen at the height of everything, are you on an adrenaline high, or are you feeling stressed, or like what happens to you in that buzz of service?
I think because I was lucky enough to got really trained in like extremely large operations, extremely busy operations. We talk about 25 million, 30 million F&B operations. So a certain resilience has been developed over the years. That obviously the stress is predictable. So have a very clear mind about what's coming my way, and therefore can prepare myself and can prepare the team as well for what's to come. And therefore, actually, the stress levels are surprisingly low, getting lower with the years, I guess, as we grow older. Yeah.
And that's part of leadership too, isn't it? Taking care of the well-being of your staff as well, and making sure that they feel confident to enter into service without, worrying about making mistakes and those kinds of things. Yeah.
Especially the industry ever since COVID as well has changed dramatically. Like the last couple of years, for the way I was treated when I was younger in the ranks to nowadays how we treat our team members, it's whole opposite. And I think there's been many big books been written about it. The change in hospitality, but it's definitely visible day to day. But I think it's good. It's great for the team, obviously, because I do not want them to experience what I had to go through.
No, that's right. Yeah. I actually just went to a talk on Monday night called Mo Hospo, run by the Movember people in conjunction with hospitality people, and they had a panel of 6 men. It was mainly men's mental health in hospitality, but it did tend to embrace anyone in hospitality, and I just think that historically it is an industry where, as you say, it's been stressful and people have dealt with stress in various ways, whether that's the shouting way or the drinking too much, all those kinds of things. It's good to see that there's a way forward and that not all teams are still in that rut.
Yes. Yeah. Finding striking the balance is hard. It's difficult. It's not always achievable. Yeah. But at least the efforts taken daily is you get the reward from the team instantly if you know that you're treating them differently than they've been treated maybe in previous places.
And it's about modelling too, isn't it? And I guess it's about context. And when you're in a context like this where you have, I would imagine, very good support systems and systems in place that everyone knows the role they're playing and what to do in these situations, I think that must help as well.
Absolutely. But again, it's the challenge obviously of my sous chef as well, and so on, to establish those systems and make sure that the team is well looked after.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you think about food all the time?
I love it, yes. So I kind of need to find a balance, obviously, by as well doing something which is healthy for me and doing my sports and everything. But no, I love food. I have a passion for food. Couldn't live without it. I love cooking at home. I cook for my partner every day. It's just like a joy as well, looking after others and sharing my passion with others. So you never have a dull moment in life when it comes to it. It's just,
And when you are looking for inspiration, obviously you've got a vast repertoire of places you've worked and food you've cooked before, but do you like to look at cookbooks or do you look online more nowadays? What's your inspiration?
I think it could be something. Inspiration. I would not say that I have now per se like one chef I'm following and so like this is what it is, because again currently with our style of food we're actually going exactly polar opposite. We're going backwards instead of moving forwards. Whilst we still go seasonal and obviously local, obviously the style of food goes actually, we're paling back and going years and years back, even before the time I was in the kitchen. So when it comes to inspiration, I think walking down the street and just looking into restaurants, looking outside on the menus and seeing what sells. Food trends come and go. It's really hard to grab them and say, like, okay, this is currently what it is, and it works maybe for like 6 months, but you have to reinvent yourself constantly. So it's it can't stop. And that's a beautiful thing about food, because it keeps you challenged, it keeps you on the toes, and keeps you running and looking for new things. You never stop learning. Right. So again, how the inspiration comes. I love cookbooks. I love putting my head in them. I like watching a good show. I have no problems with that either. Especially walking down the road and just looking what other restaurants are doing.
And can you still be surprised by food, by a dish or by a flavour?
I can. I am sometimes surprised by capabilities of my team members and chefs. Especially, I'm extremely proud of my sous chef Max, who is standing with me in the kitchen. He keeps on surprising me every day, over and over again. Just the ease and how he produces food, how he looks at food, how he touches it, keeps on surprising me and what he comes up with. So just seeing other people's creativity and obviously sharing creativity with each other, I think is just joyful.
And just to finish off with, what would your advice be to a young person, or I suppose anyone who was thinking about becoming a chef?
Not to worry about the immediate situation you're facing yourself in. Try to see yourself where you want to be in a few years' time. Don't take for granted that people in front of you have reached that level by through a natural path. Some people, it requires a lot of dedication and hard work. It's not an easy industry, but it can be a very rewarding industry if you are willing to put the hard yards for it. Don't worry about the immediate, the moment you're currently standing. Look where you want to be in 5 years, 10 years time, and work towards that.
Thank you. That was great. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Conversation with a Chef with Christian Graebner at Dolly in the Meridien. You can check out all the goodness by going into 20 Burke Street and sweeping down the staircase for yourself. Right now, though, you could jump on Instagram at Dolly Melbourne, all one word. If you liked what you heard and want to hear more stories from other chefs, I'm on Instagram at Conversation with a Chef. You can read the chat at www.conversationwithachef.com, and of course you can follow me on Apple and Spotify podcasts. Do you know how much I'd love it if you told a friend about these chats? And I'd always love to know that you came back as well. So thanks for listening and have a great day.